Logical consequences. It's a question I get asked a lot during parenting classes or while I'm shopping at the grocery store. Many parents struggle with the question, what would be a good logical consequence for blank? Now, some parenting experts would argue that if we have to spend time thinking about what a logical consequence would be, we've already missed the boat. The logical should be obvious and therefore require little thinking. If we have to devote a lot of thought, then we probably are more interested in finding some cloaked punishment rather than a good teaching tool. And that could be. But maybe we just haven't had much practice with viewing misbehaviors logically. We are often so comfortable in looking for blame and shame rather than looking for solutions. How many times do we want our kids to pay for their mistakes rather than wanting them to learn from them? It's hard to think outside the punishment box. Most of us weren't raised that way. It's new territory for us. However, if we are really in this for the teaching, and we truly must be in parenting, then we will want our children to take responsibility for the problem, work toward developing some ways to solve it, and find some maturity along the way. Logical consequences make sure the child can't avoid the results of his or her behavior. They encourage the child to wrestle with the problem and not with us. A good logical consequence follows the recipe of the 3 R's: related, respectful, and reasonable. Those 3 together are the best instructors, related to the offense, respectful to both child and parents, and reasonable in its scope. Remember, it is the certainty, not the severity of the consequence that will teach best. And then parents must always follow through on the logical consequence. Your kids are counting on you to continue the good teaching. A great logical consequence is only as good as its implementation. Screaming, hitting, taking away TV time for a month, or throwing away all the toys in the room do not move us closer to helping our child learn to be more responsible and pick up their toys at the end of the day. Those harsh actions actually move us farther away from solving our child's responsibility problem. A child experiencing that kind of frenzied, punitive parent is focused on, what an awful parent I have, and not at all on, how can I do better so that this doesn't happen again? Our child needs to be taught to be accountable for their behavior, solve the problem, and make changes for their future. Using logical consequences, it could go like this. At a family meeting, the problem of toys left on the floor at night is brought up. Discussions about the safety of feet, of the toys themselves, and of the family pet takes place. Why things need to be put away. We brainstorm together for ideas. We might agree on a pick-up toys time or a song to play when it is time to pick up said toys. A possible logical consequence could be a black hole box or an oops bag. Parents agree to pick up any leftover toys at night and place them in said boxes or bags. These toys will stay in those boxes or bags for a certain amount of time, a few days or a week, not 6 months, remember reasonable. They can be reclaimed at the end of that time or after a chore is done by the child for the parent. After all, the parent had to take their time to pick up the child's toys. Think related. No lecture, shaming, or blaming about it. Think respectful. This logical consequence will not have to occur very many times before it will have taught the child to be responsible for their toys. Or we will notice that the child has fewer toys to play with, but they don't mind. Most children have so very many toys anyway. They can happily live without many of them. Having a different mindset that looks for solutions rather than blame will get us all pointed in the right direction. Getting our child involved in logical consequences and problem solving gives them opportunities to grow and strengthen their skills. They are also more likely to work hard and carry through successfully with the consequence because they played a part in it. They have ownership. They will learn responsibility and develop self-reliance. Self-esteem will rise. Power struggles diminish. Misbehaviors become fewer. Awesome. Everybody wins. Punishments won't have anything close to that result. Teaching with logical consequences will.